Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from whatever you're watching this channel. Now, after watching Orengo's footage for quite some time, when he was giving his take on Francis Ogollas, the deceased CDF, somewhere along the way, I realized that Orengo wanted to say something that maybe was not going to sit well with the government. Because why did they have to switch off Orengo's microphone?
Oi mawaiko kawuono ni oken ng'ama inyalo pando. En wuoyi mathuon kendo en ruath. An adwa mitambe mokethre onge gimarach. Only
one thing. Maybe they realized that Orengo was going to say something that was not going to augur well with William Samoei Ruto. Maybe they realized that Orengo, being one of those politicians who understand the history of Kenya, was going to say something that would have been unpleasant to the international community. Why do you think they had to switch off Orengo's mic when Orengo had started to give out his speech? And why did Orengo end his speech, the one that he was delivering in Luo language? I want us to go to a clip of what Orengo said during that burial ceremony. But before you do that, please let me encourage you to like this video. That is the only way you support our work. Subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed. And to existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. It was evident from the way Orengo had started speaking or giving his speech during the burial ceremony of Francis Ogollas. It was evident that Orengo was going to say something that wasn't going to please the people of Kenya Kwanza. So as to why the mic had to be switched off, one thing I can make out of it is that the thing that Orengo wanted to say maybe would have been very explosive, maybe would have embarrassed William Ruto, maybe would have embarrassed the government.
I want to say this without fear of contradiction. We have mourned many times, and that's why sometimes people mistake us. We have mourned many times, and we have mourned heroes. We mourned Arguing Skodek. We mourned Tom Mboya. We mourned Dr. Uko. We mourned Odhiambo Mbai. And today we are mourning General Ogollas. I therefore plead with anybody who is here, you must allow Kenyans to mourn their heroes the way they can. I just hope that this time around, we will, with the investigations which are undergoing, will come to the final conclusion and outcome of how this happened. And I was taught in investigations, Your Excellency, I was a lead lawyer in the Uko trial. In the Uko trial, there were many investigators, international, FBI, and Scotland Yard. And the first rule in investigations is that you don't rule anything out. If you want to carry a true investigation, don't leave anything out. So we want to be assured that nothing will be left out so that the truth comes out.
You know, Orengo mentioned something like Odhiambo Mbai. Orengo talked about Robert Ouko. He even went to an extent of talking about Saitoti. So Orengo has a history of those people who are alleged to have been assassinated. Mind you, what all the leaders were saying there is that investigate this matter. Investigate this matter. What Oburu Odinga said there was that investigate this matter because we suspect something could have taken place. So that explains why Orengo's mic had to be switched off temporarily. Because if you look at the way Orengo also noticed it, when he had started giving out his speech in Luo, and he had started talking about things which were not going to be comfortable to William Ruto, and then that's the moment when the mic went off. And then the moment the mic was switched on, he did not talk about what he wanted to talk about. He ended up speaking now in English and then delivering another message, because the first message was supposed to be delivered in Luo, meaning he was going to communicate directly to the locals. Mind you, the locals there still believe that this Ogolla death is not just like any other, that this could have been a planned one. That is what they believe. That's why you find that there were a lot of heckling in that event. So when also Oburu Odinga stood, Oburu Odinga talked about suspicion. He mentioned those people who have passed on quite some time ago. All of them, the investigations which were conducted, the reports were never unveiled to the public so that the public could scrutinize and know what could have taken place. Like, for example, the issue of Robert Ouko, something that happened in 1980s there. It has never been revealed, that report. The case of George Saitoti, the vice president who served under Moi, his sudden death has never been revealed, the details why. So there are so many people, Msando, so many of them. So most likely the engineers there knew very well that Orengo's message was not going to augur well with William Ruto and the team. So that explains why they could not allow Orengo to make any kind of statement of that nature. So perhaps that explains why his mic went off. But because if you look at all other speakers who came after Orengo, none of their mics went off. And that explains only one thing, the same thing that I mentioned, that there could have been something which the government is scared about. Orengo is a lawyer. And if you go by what he said, in fact, when he was saying that Francis Ogollas was not party to those who wanted to maybe change the results of the bombers, and he said that he himself agree, Bob, Orengo. He said that he himself is one of those people who went to the bombers. But again, he said that the government, these people who are crying, complaining, they're still complaining, they can take him to court. They can do anything with that information. But he said Francis Ogollas was not party to those who were there or would have wanted to do that. In fact, nobody would have wanted to have any results changed. So, in a nutshell, Orengo was trying to defend Francis Ogollas. And I think he did it. Because even if you look at what Duale said, and I did it in my previous analysis, Duale also did it, defended Ogollas. All those other speakers defended him. So, what Orengo wanted to say, we might never know what he wanted to say. Just like what Raila said, he said that we might never know why the aeroplane or why the helicopter went down. We might never know. It's just the same way we might never know what Orengo wanted to say, because he himself knows what he wanted to say. But the people who are controlling the speakers and the like, they knew that if Orengo was allowed to speak, he could have said something that could have embarrassed William Ruto, just like I've said when I was starting this analysis. So personally, I think Orengo wanted to release something that would have shocked the whole world. Maybe that would have been the earthquake that people talk about. So what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think Orengo wanted to say in that meeting? Just go below the comment section and tell us what you think Orengo wanted to say. Because personally, I think Orengo wanted to expose certain people. He wanted to expose certain people, but first, he wanted to deliver the message in Luo so that the locals there could understand. Because, not everybody understands English, though we know very well that in Sia, so many people are comfortable with English, but there are other people who don't understand. So he wanted to first of all speak to these people, first of all, before now converting the message to English so that other people, the attendees there, can actually understand. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you make of this? What happened, the drama during that battle? What do you make of this that happened between Orengo and the speakers there, that forced the speakers to the engineers there, that forced the engineers to switch off Orengo's mic? Perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, please take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. So until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.